clap to start, right?
Oh shit, I forgot to open that part. Jesus Christ. I'm an idiot.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Guess what?
What?
I'm the GM now.
Fuck! What do I do then?
You get to love everything and I have to hate everything.
Oh, that's actually really cool. It might be nice being positive for a change.
Hmm.
So I took some notes on 5.5. Fuck, I hate all these things. How am I supposed to spin this as a positive? It's all bad.
It's all good. It's so good.
Please tell me that's not your honest reaction. I mean,
No, it is. I like a lot. I like so much of it. I do.
today we're gonna try to fit in the rogue, the monk, and the warlock, and honestly, having looked through it, it's okay, so we're gonna get into it, but like, uh, I, uh, um, hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is the show where I'm mad about stuff and I drink.
This is the show where I really like stuff.
Hmm. Do you drink?
I mean,
Am I
I'm
going
not
to be the
drinking
only
anything
one
right
drinking on
now.
the, is that going to be the tradition? Is I pretend that it's a show where we all drink, but I'm the only one who ever does it because I have a problem?
Yeah, we all just sort of quietly go, is Tony, does he know that we're not, does he know that we're not drinking?
Everyone, glasses high.
I took acid. Is that not what I was supposed to do? Anyway, when
Oh.
are you?
Uh, oh, our ceremonial beginning. Here I stand, grog in fist. I'm here
Hmm.
because I'm really fucking pissed. Um, if I drink too much, I'll have to pee. This is why my wife left me. There we go.
Aw.
Starting poems out of the way.
Your wife left you because you pee?
She's really sick of me doing it in bed. Um,
Okay. Well,
oh man.
I mean, if somebody left me because I pee, I would just get a kidney stone. Yep.
The fuck?
Holding your pee gives you kidney stones. I recently read.
Yes,
I
yes, it
was like,
super duper
that's
does. You should
insane.
not do that. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Jaime is guest number one. Our producer Spencer is in the studio with us, and by the studio I mean my foyer, and by my foyer I mean it's an online fucking chat room thing.
I
Um,
took notes on Warlock, Rogue, and Monk.
yep, yep. We're gonna try to hit all three of those today. I took notes, extensive notes on Rogue, next to no notes on Monk, and no notes on Warlock. I did
Cool.
look through all of them, but I got tired and didn't want to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's start with Rogue. Hey, Rogue. That's a class.
That's what I call a class.
That's what that. Now that's a class. Um, I know I briefly talked about the one actually really fucking cool thing about Rogue in the first episode, which is the cunning strikes and the devious strikes,
Hmm.
the way to sub out your sneak attack damage for alternate effects, and the fact that it's far and away the best thing in 5.5, like by a really, really dreadfully wide margin. Um, so that means I don't have to praise anything today, which is awesome because I already got that out of the way. Um, so I have a question. Is the short bow with the rogue just fucking super busted?
Theoretically.
Yeah, because if you have mastery with a short bow, weapon mastery, that mechanic that I don't like, um, you get Vex on your attacks,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
means every time you land an attack, you get advantage on the next one, and the rogue gets sneak attack whenever they have advantage. Which means as long as you don't fuck up an attack roll with advantage, you have sneak attack damage on every attack but your first one. Always.
Well, I mean, there's different ways to get around that, but
Yeah.
you could have
But I mean,
Brennan
like,
Lee Mulligan's rolling with emphasis.
I
Um,
like Brennan Lee Mulligan. He's really good. He's a better DM than I am, for fucking
They ask
sure.
you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I mean, there's different ways I think that he does it, but it's like rolling. It's like you know when he told Emily to roll with triple advantage or disadvantage, triple disadvantage. It was that basically. Like you can roll with emphasis upward or downward, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It's
Um,
better than the fucking system that they currently have of advantage doesn't stack. So if you have like 3 things giving you advantage, eat shit. If you have 14 things giving you advantage and 1 thing giving you disadvantage, then your roll is just a normal roll.
a flat roll, yeah.
So fucking stupid. Fuck that.
I mean, I use those up as like chances to be like flat roll plus or minus proficiency or something. Like
That's
minus
fine.
the target's
Yeah.
proficiency or plus the attacker's
Yeah,
proficiency.
so you're saying you like homebrew the game into being fun?
Yeah, that's why it's
That's
good. That's why
cool.
it's a good game.
Shut the fuck up with your homebrew is why it's a good
No,
game.
but it is. It
Any
is.
game is a good game if you homebrew it hard
I
enough.
don't know. I homebrewed myself an X-Men trading card game when I was in 7th grade, and that shit did not fly.
Sorry, if you homebrew well, if you homebrew expertly.
I was
uh,
like, friends of mine, come gather around of my X-Men trading card collection. Now you get to be Remy LeBeau. No, I lied. I only me because he's my favorite. Okay, you can be Cyclops.
wow, you're mean. You're a mean friend.
I
Making someone be fucking
was like,
Cyclops?
you're a Boy Scout. You could be the Boy Scout.
um one note that I thought was interesting is the thief subclass. Even the subclasses in 5 and 5.5 are fucking lame and don't do anywhere near enough to actually be interesting. I think the thief subclass
Wait, no. So one thing I didn't notice is steady aim.
yes. Yeah, the thing from Tasha's Cauldron.
Yeah, I didn't realize that had been like introduced to the core class.
Yep, yeah, it's just part of the I mean that's the thing, a lot of the stuff from Tasha's Cauldron is just part of the main book now.
But really though, steady aim plus weapon mastery with the short bow is fucking broken.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
How do you get around that as a DM? Like, how do you get around? I guess you just don't have any long range combat. Not like
You
any,
have
but
something,
like
yeah. You have something that gives them disadvantage so that it all washes,
oh yeah,
which
yeah.
seems like an unfun way to solve that problem, but whatever. Um, no, I actually wanted to talk about the idea of the thief subclass is interesting because it seems like it's very much about tool usage, which is a neat way to run that. Use magic device now offers you an additional attunement slot and gives you the chance to activate magic items without using their charges. You can activate magic items as bonus actions instead of main actions. Ton of cool shit like that, which I think like creating a like just someone who has a bunch of fucking magic items on them and just activates them at random, just like, oh, I can solve this problem with go gadget arm. Is actually that's it's neat. That's neat. It's interesting. I wish subclasses did more than something every fucking 33 levels. Um
33 and a third, so you get to
oh, you're right,
100.
my bad. The 3 different things you get with your subclass, each one at 33 and 1/3 levels.
Hmm. And this would be great
I
with
mean,
like
but
having a party with an artificer, right?
oh, that thing that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it does.
They announced it's not in 5.5.
It it's entirely backwards compatible. It absolutely exists. The rules just aren't different.
Okay. Everything exists in 5.5 then. Oh, it's if it's not included in the book, it's not in this edition.
I
I
mean,
know you can play it backwards compatible, but think about it, everything's gotten a buff. Everything is stronger now, so like an artificer is already going to be a little underpowered. And that feels bad. I mean, you could still do it, but like
you think they'd
everyone gets
be
to play with all their brand new
underpowered?
shiny tools and shit, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to do the same."
Oh, it's interesting because that tells me that you're understanding this in a very different way than I am. I feel because Artificer being like a later addition to the original
Mhm.
5e
Yeah,
felt like it felt to me like Artificers were always like significantly overpowered. So
really.
yeah. I've played a couple Artificers and you could do some really bonkers shit. It's like giving a wizard monk level like actions sometimes. And
I get that.
I think a lot of what I've seen for like how they're retooling this stuff is almost entirely, I think, built around this idea of like this particularly crunchy class that not a ton of people played. They're a popular class, but not like they're popular for like not for their ease of play.
Yeah,
They're pretty
yeah,
difficult and crunchy. This class was sometimes able to do things that it probably shouldn't have been able to, and
I get
a lot
that.
of the sort of like rebalancing of the whole thing seemed to be like, how do we make other classes that are like that?
Okay, okay. I get that take. I don't entirely agree with it, but I also don't entirely disagree with it. I think that the way that a lot of stuff has been tuned for the new edition is assuming that you have advantage at all times and assuming that other core
Right? Yeah.
mechanics are playing around with a lot of short rests and things like that. And though the Artificer is tuned to be, I think, a little bit stronger than most other classes in 5, I don't think it's tuned the same way to be abusing short rests and stuff like that, like a lot of the 5.5 stuff is.
I don't know. I
Like, I
mean,
would consider it the best 5th edition class, not the proto 5.5 class. And I wouldn't even call it the best fit, but you get the idea. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, artificers get they do make good use of short rests, or at least
What
the
do they get
ones.
back on short rests?
It depends on subclass shit if I remember correctly. Like I have an artificer
Uh,
in my game that is later today, and like there are times that I'm like I need to really be careful to balance this for like I have a couple small encounters that lead up to a big encounter. I need to make sure they don't rest between them because if like even a short rest will like drastically rebalance the boss combat.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So, yes, I guess the Thief will work all right with the 5th edition Artificer. That's fair. That's fair.
I'm really excited about like I don't understand the monk yet. I need to spend time with that more.
The monk, in my opinion, the reason that I'm going to complain about the monk, there's actually not a single change to the monk that I dislike. My only complaint about the monk is this is what should have been in the 5th edition core rulebook. This is just the fixed monk. Like, the rogue has exciting new things that change how they play and stuff like that. This is just
Mhm.
the monk from 2014 tweaked to work as it should have. There's
Tony,
not really anything new. Go ahead.
you just made the argument that this is not a new edition.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Don't do this
You
to
just
me.
made the WotC argument. There, the wizards or not wizard. I'm sorry, the Dungeons and Dragons like official stance argument. You're like, this is the way it should have been the whole time. It's not actually different or new,
I'm so
and
glad
it's
I
better.
finally get to play 5th edition a decade late. Yeah, no, it's it's not what the other classes are so far, in my opinion. The other classes have actual significant changes that change how they play. A
Mhm.
little bit of enough, I guess. The monk is the only one that like I honestly have next to nothing of note to say about the monk because all of the changes are just balance tweaks. and that's it. Rogue has cool new shit. Yeah, I'll pick some random shit out because normally what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pick out highlights, right? But if everything is just a balance tweak, there are no highlights. So things like the martial arts die for your unarmed attacks starts at a D6 instead of a D4 and goes up to a D12 instead of a D10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you step of the wind, it's changed so that you can dash as a bonus action for free or spend your focus to disengage and dash. Instead of what step of the wind was, which is just it's just the disengage and dash. You just don't get the dash for free or something along those lines, something similar to that. Like that's
Yeah, I think it took an action or something, right?
yeah, exactly. So that's fine. There's one very, very small change that I think is neat. That's you can use your dex instead of your strength when you grapple or shove. No one grapples or shoves ever because it's usually not a good option. But if you do, you can dex do it now, so that's fine. Stunning strike can only be used once per turn.
Oh, Sunny Strike does damage now too. It does force damage. It always did
Yeah.
damage, but like it does just like it on top of stunning, it also does force damage.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did it always do damage?
I believe it
It's
always.
been a long
I
time since I played
believe
it.
it always
Last time I
did.
played a monk was Unearthed Arcana.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's the empowered strike you get at the same level now. And you can choose to deal force damage instead of bludgeoning for your unarmed strikes. But I thought there was always something similar to that in the 5th edition one.
I don't.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
God, the monk is so
It's
fucking
been a real long time.
terrible, and I've only played a monk for one reason once in 5th edition. And it was because they had the Path of the Astral Self in
Oh
the
yeah.
Unearthed Arcana, and
Yep.
it just gives you a stand, and yeah, it's just that you get.
I did the exact same monk, by the way.
It's fun. It's neat. It's got
It
flavor.
was. It was really fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only time I've ever played a fucking monk because even though I love the idea of a monk, like conceptually, I think the 5th edition monk it's fine.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think this overall upgrades, like I think the monk was always like low on
Oh,
damage dealing in
absolutely.
general,
Yeah. The monk was
right?
generally
But it was
disappointing.
great on action economy,
Yeah. I
right?
mean,
It was
stunning
such a
strike
it was
is
really cool.
hella busted, of course. Yeah, no, that's the thing
Yeah.
is like I said, is the 5.5 monk is in every single way an improvement over the 5th edition monk, but not in the way that
Hmm.
makes me go, ooh, a new monk. But the way that makes me go, yeah, fucking why didn't you do this 10 years ago?
Yeah, Tosh. Actually, this wouldn't have been out of place in Tosh's.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like.
I see no reason that this wouldn't have been in a supplement or something a while ago, if
Mhm.
not just in the core rulebook back in 2014. That's it. That's my complaint in general about the monk. Is it's just that it should have always been this way. It's not new. But body and mind at level 20, increasing your wisdom and dexterity by 4 each to a max of 25 is silly. I mean, it's fine for level 20. Not number go up. That's cool. Um,
Is the they have? I assume they have the standard like across the board level 19
yeah, the
uh
epic boon.
epic
What is
whatever.
their
Yeah.
recommended epic boon for this asshole? Oh, it just recommends doing irresistible offense again, which is the same one the barbarian I think got recommended, which was
Hmm.
you ignore resistance on all your physical damage, and you deal extra damage on crits.
Interesting.
That's fine. My complaint, and I said this last time, and I'll say it again. You'll hear me say it 1,000 more fucking times. My complaint about
Mhm.
all of the epic boons is that just about all of them are passive abilities.
Yeah, I mean it's level 19. You don't.
I my I feel like at level 19, what you
It's a
get,
badge.
yeah. I just I hate when things are passive, especially when they're like super strong, because super strong and passive just means, hey, the number went up. The number went up real good, guys. And it's like, I want something to feel epic at level 19. And personally, for me, damage do gooder is not epic, in my opinion. Like,
I think when you're a monk though, and your strikes are just like they just add up like that,
yeah.
it's non-negligible.
No, it's not negligible.
Like,
I think it's incredibly strong, especially if
yeah.
you have a DM that's properly utilizing resistances. It just says don't. So that's strong. Strong isn't my issue. It's just
Remember extract aspects? Not that.
dude,
All those things, we don't have them anymore.
I know we're talking about 5/5 right now, but legendary resistance is the fucking lamest solve to a problem ever. Um for those who don't know or remember or give a fuck, legendary resistance is something big monsters have in 5th edition to make it so that when they fail a check a certain number of times a day, they can just choose to succeed it. And what a fucking feels bad, like lame answer to a problem of we overtuned all of our characters.
I like to give legendary resistance to the little things sometimes.
A
It's
fucking
really funny.
kobold just says legendary
Yeah,
resistance.
no, literally like a kobold or like a chicken or like yeah, no, it's I've done it. A chicken, yeah, it's fucking
That's really good. I
hilarious.
like. Okay, I take it back. The way that the 5th edition monster manual uses legendary resistances is terrible. The way Jaime uses legendary resistances is perfect and wonderful. Jaime, congratulations. I'm officially appointing you as the new designer for 5.5. Please and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well earned. Um, is there anything else that was
Number went up.
is there anything else that was particularly interesting to you about the monk?
I just think there's like I'm seeing an across the board approach to like the changes that it's becoming like it's just interesting to me how they're dropping like uh they're dropping the kinds of things that would be at second level to first level, right?
Mhm.
Pretty across the board.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And it's no longer requiring like the kinds of resources that it did before to do that,
Mhm.
to do those things. But the things you can do with them are more like because their resources are now like redistributed. Those resources, like in the case of the monk, the marshal, or the what is it, the focus
Yeah, they're
points,
not key points, they're focus points, even though they are called key abilities multiple times in the article.
are they KI or KEY?
AI. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like, no, it's not a key point anymore. No, it's a focus point. So when you use your key ability, Flurry of Blows. Good job, guys. Very proud of you.
Excellent, Jordan. No, it's just I think there's an interesting way they're doing this to like it just becomes so much more streamlined all over again.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you know, and it's like it hits the things where when I'm running a game, I'm like, okay, I have to you have to know all of your players'
Mhm.
things, like not all of them all the time, but
Yeah,
like
but enough to know, like, hey, here's what will just make any encounter I build not work. Let's work around that. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Yeah. And like it makes those types of. I mean, I haven't played it yet. This is me projecting into the future, but like
Yeah,
I
obviously.
imagine that rebuilding these classes this way makes those types of interactions like where the players like, well, what about like this ability that I have, blah blah. It makes it a little bit easier to adjudicate. I would imagine.
Okay. Okay. I would say one of the complaints that I have personally is I think that because it's so simplified, it makes the DM problem solving side of things not as much fun and a bit more of a feel bads type scenario, because normally it would be okay, my fighter can do X, Y, and Z, How do I work around that? And now it's okay, my fighter can just choose to hit. How do I work around
Yeah,
them
there is a
just
lot of choosing.
choosing to hit? And like
There is.
that's kind of lame. Um so that's my main gripe there. Um I will say a lot of stuff starting at level 1 is a good thing. Level 1
Yeah.
in 5th edition is so fucking dog shit. It is the worst tutorial level of every single video game ever combined. Um
That's so funny.
no, but like
I notoriously hate tutorial levels, so
yeah.
I will speed run it, and if I can't, I'm like, well, that's not my game. So,
I can't even fault you for that. And that's what level 1 and in most classes level 2 feels like to me in 5th edition is
mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
okay, we're not going to give you any mechanics to play with. We're not going to give you any of the interesting toys. Just learn how to roll a d20 and we'll let you know when you can have stuff to play with. And in this it's like okay, have some abilities. Like nothing too interesting, but like the game is actually a game that you can play at level 1 now. So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
cool. That's a positive.
What do you think about Warlock?
Oh, yeah, Warlock. That fucking class. Um it's foremostly, it's really funny to me on the articles where they have, here's all the what's new, blah blah blah. They start with a chart, a table, there we go,
Mhm.
of the big changes at each level, and most of them have like 10 to 15 different levels of here's what's new here, here's what's new there. The Warlock has 6. It has a change at level 1, 2, 3, 9, 11, and 19. And you already know what the one at 19 is. It's the Epic Boon. So
Mhm.
really, they have 5 levels of changes.
I thought it was one of the coolest total retoolings of the whole thing.
Okay. I'm really gonna need you to explain that to me. Because
I,
I.
so like they've mechanically made a lot of choices. This was honestly my first thought was, oh, this is a lot more like a Pathfinder character now. Because at each point along the way where these changes come into effect, they have like long-lasting mechanical effects on what you're doing later, and you're you the warlock feels a lot more unique, a lot more specialized in and like what you can pick just from like the vanilla rules are like is like you're going to end up with like a lot of variation and variety, right? I mean, like, of course something is going to, come to the front, to the fore as a like a best combination of these things.
Yeah, and that's gonna
But
happen in
like,
every game. That's fine.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Like the way that they've built it out now, like I wanted the Archfey subclass or whatever, what do you call it? Pact of the Archfey
Mm-hmm.
to be like so much cooler than it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it really cool. Like they made it cool enough that like when I was taking notes, I was like, oh wait, I forgot to take notes. That's really cool. Like, because you get like you can do Misty Step like as a non was it not even like a bonus action? Like a certain number of times per long rest?
So all they have listed here is that it is always in your prepared spell list,
Mm-hmm.
and many of the features in the subclass give you more uses of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Also, you can build out each pact boon as like a different combo.
I
along the
actually
way.
really like the pact boons being independent of the pacts. I initially thought
Yeah, me
this
too.
makes the pacts less interesting because they have less flavor behind them because they give you more freedom there, but I think in general, I sit here and tout Pathfinder 2nd Edition every single fucking episode, and here I am looking at options like Pathfinder has and complaining. So honestly, I will get off my high horse here and say yes, I think that is actually a positive change that encourages more playing around. Also, I'm curious to see what it actually is because Great Old One says
Hmm.
that it's much more like weird Cthulhu shit, and I fucking love weird Cthulhu shit. So that's
Me too.
cool. Also, thank fucking God that the Eldritch invocations can be used on more than just Eldritch Blast now.
Yeah, no.
That's
Oh my god. Yeah,
immediate,
that was
very
so
obvious,
good.
very positive change.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh, okay. Any cantrip? Okay.
It's not any cantrip, it's a set list. It is a set list. But it's a pretty big set list when you consider all
Yeah.
of the it's most of the cantrips that do damage. I think they have a list. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, so you are no longer limited to Eldritch Blast. Instead, you choose one of your known Warlock cantrips that deals damage, and you can add your Charisma modifier to the damage roll. Okay, so yeah, it's
Hmm.
just any cantrip that deals damage.
Yep. Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
like, a Toll the Dead based Warlock is super cool. That's a fun idea. Like, I actually think that that's a overall net positive. That's
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to hate more things about this. No, the warlock's an overall upgrade. Like the monk bores me. That's the thing, right? Is the monk I find boring as sin because it's just the monk, but they did it right this time. Not good,
Hmm.
but just correct instead of bad. The
Hmm.
warlock changes are either fine or like net genuine positives, like separating pack boon from the packs themselves and changing it so that you can fucking Eldritch Invocation anything. Those are both great changes, genuinely great changes. Um, they do.
But they get a new thing.
No, they
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 get a new
they still
thing.
do. Or
Do
do they
they?
just get some of them? They have a ritual that gives them back.
Yeah. 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 That's what I
Yeah.
saw too.
They perform a ritual and it gives half of them back at lower levels. At higher levels, it gives all of them back. But it's a once a day
Hmm.
thing. So yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Fuck you, Warlock.
Yeah.
How dare you get
Actually,
your spells back all the time? Eat shit. Now you're limited. Fifth
so I mean,
edition
warlocks used
Warlocks
to
can
be
eat my entire
balanced.
ass. They're too strong.
They're so strong. They're so
They're
strong.
busted. Yeah. My one of my complaints about this edition, 5.5, is that like they're seeing how much people want to get stuff back on short rests and they're giving everyone stuff back on short rest, and I don't like that. And so
Hmm.
taking that away from the warlock is a good thing. Fuck the warlock. All warlocks on this planet can eat my whole ass.
If this microphone were your ass, it'd be right in front of my face, and I would have to eat it.
See? Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
That you'd be obligated to morally, spiritually, monetarily.
I was thinking like an ice cream cone, but yeah. uh, but yeah, it's whatever emoji or something. Uh,
I was saying, man, maybe someday we'll start weaving emojis into like verbal conversation and like saying the word eggplant and stuff. But no, I like your idea better. That we'll just say the word emoji and you have to infer from context which one's being talked about.
parentheses emoji close parentheses emoji. Well, I know what that one is
Your
for
fucking
sure.
buddy walks
But
up to you and he's like, "Hey man, my wife left me." And you're like, "Emoji, emoji, 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 emoji." You're like, "Bruh, for real, emoji, emoji."
FR.
emoji. Oh man, we're innovating.
Um, no, so like the warlock balance was a problem
Yeah,
for. I mean, as a DM, like running a game, as a GM running a game, warlock balance is like it can throw a party balance off really easily.
severely.
Yeah. And that's like fine. I mean, that's part of the deal, but like
It's too much.
giving everybody a little bit on short rests and reducing what the warlock gets, but expanding the spell repertoire and expanding
Yeah,
like their abilities independent of the rest, like
absolutely.
reload abilities, is like really good for
Great,
balance.
phenomenal, love it. Honestly, that's right. One of my favorite things so far of this edition is something got worse. That's my attitude. Fuck you.
No, but they still get them back though. Like it's just like it's not on a short rest. It's a once a day thing.
You get
Yeah.
you get half of all of your packed patron spell slots or whatever.
Mhm.
And actually, something that's an interesting thing, they specifically differentiate that it is your, I can't remember what stupid fucking term they use, but arcanum spells, or
Oh, I
something
missed
like
that.
that. They specify warlock spells. So you can't do the thing anymore where you're a warlock and a sorcerer and you just get all of your spell slots back.
Oh, so this plays out more like BG3's Sorlock
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
end.
You're only getting,
Okay.
from what I can tell, you're only getting your warlock spells back when you do those short rests.
Mm, that's
Yeah.
good because as I my main for BG3 is a Sorlock
Mm-hmm.
and it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's dumb that you can play like a little bit of warlock and the majority of another caster and just go, yeah, I'll get all my other caster shit back because warlocks are poorly balanced.
I also like the way that they brought in like they made the relationship to the patron a lot
That's
more
exactly what I was
personal.
just about to talk about. The fact that you get
Yeah,
contact other plane as an always
yeah.
prepared spell so that you can just contact your patron whenevs is that's a good thing, man. That is a really good thing.
It reminds me of I don't know if this is spoilers or whatever for Critical Role, but like there was a combat where there like Marisha was just like, mommy, come pick us up. I don't want to be here anymore, mommy."
That's great.
Like out of character.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like it's like that's what I thought of. I immediately was like, oh, I see the a lot of direct influence
Yeah.
from the way that Critical Role is played. Not specifically warlocks. Well, actually, yeah, warlocks. But like clerics are kind of like warlocks, and like they're like in that they have a like a sponsor basically,
Yeah.
right? And like
A warlock is a cleric who's an edgelord. Yeah.
yeah, basically, like no joke, yeah, basically, and yeah, I see the way that like that was addressed and balanced a lot in this 5-5. Actually, I haven't seen the cleric thing because that was just
Yeah,
released
cleric
today,
was
right?
really, really recent. I haven't even looked at it either. Frankly, we
Yeah.
have what, like another half hour to record?
No. No.
Oh, okay, cool, cool,
Ten
cool. I was
minutes.
about to
Yeah.
say because honestly, we might even be able to just cover another class fresh. No, we can't.
We can just we'll just learn it right now.
A hot take.
Pokemon's bad.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're
Oh, oh, ooh. I don't think we need anything else to take the fucking 10 minutes. I need to hear, but like as a
No, I just wanted
franchise,
to think of the most
as a
popular thing
video
on
game.
YouTube that I could think of, and like
Um,
just say it's bad. It's like I don't have a stake in this.
um, I have
No, I don't care.
okay. I have a hot take that I actually believe.
Okay.
Um, the majority of the people out there who want their DMs to be Matt Mercer would actually hate playing in a game with Matt Mercer.
Is that a hot take? That's an obvious, like, a
Is it?
prima facie truth.
Now I want to clarify. I don't mean that Matt Mercer's a bad DM. He's a great DM. Um, but I think when people are like, "Oh man, it'd be better if my DM was like Matt Mercer. I want to play the game so I can be playing with someone like Matt Mercer. You should be more like Matt Mercer." They would actually fucking hate being in a game with Matt Mercer.
Yeah, because it would require them to be an actor and not
Absolutely.
like a game player.
Absolutely. And also the way Matt Mercer delves into his descriptions of environments and scenarios and things like that is fucking awesome for a web show and depends upon the player for an actual in-person game. Um
Yeah, people don't not always want it.
yeah, exactly.
People don't want that
I think there
necessarily.
are a lot of tables that if you spent like 5 fucking minutes describing the cavern you just walked into, the players would be like, Jesus Christ, can we please get to the fucking game? I want to hit something. But because you're listening to a web show, which is what Critical Role in the end is, remember, it is not a game, it is a show. Um,
Mm.
it's awesome. It's phenomenal because when you're just listening to it, it helps you visualize everything, and you're just listening regardless. So you don't give a shit if you're listening to action or description or environ or whatever. You just want to hear something that gives you the image in your head and is fun and interesting. And he absolutely crushes that. That wouldn't
Hmm.
be that fun to play in for a lot of people. Not for everyone. Some people absolutely love that shit. But yeah. Was that not a hot enough take? So I need a hotter take.
I mean, like, it's interesting because my gut reaction is like, well, obviously, and then I'm like, oh wait, actually, that might be. I may not have the majority opinion on this.
Okay, Pokemon's bad. There we go.
Super. Actually, here's my hot take: Pokemon is better than D&D.
I would say they're too diff. That's like saying, man, steak is really good, but have you tried driving a Ferrari? Like those are two completely incomparable items.
Steak is so good, but also driving a car, and sometimes I go to the beach. That's so funny. Uh,
um,
with
yeah.
oh, you know what we should try sometime?
What?
We should try to homebrew a Pokemon class. Actually,
Okay. Yeah, fine. Cool. Yeah, agreed.
yeah,
Speaking of homebrewing,
I think it could
oh
be a
good.
good Warlock subclass.
I mean, potentially that's what they're leaning towards with Great Old One. I don't think they're going to lean heavily enough into it, and subclasses fucking suck. The subclass system used in 5 and 5.5 is fucking terrible.
Goo. That's all I have to say. Goo.
Goo,
Great old one. Goo.
goo. You know what? Fine. No, I think the subclass system is trash. Sorry, I think it's implemented like trash.
Do you want the Pathfinder one where you like have a skill tree?
That'd be fine. I think my issue with the subclasses is that it is every what like 4 or 5 levels that you get a subclass feature. That's way
I
too
don't even
long.
remember.
It's something, it varies, but it's something like that. That's way too long. You should get a subclass feature every 2 or every 3 levels.
Yeah.
Or they should be so deeply impactful that they change the entire way you play the game.
I think that'd be cool if there were. I think if you had a subclass separate skill tree where you took like this is pulling entirely from Pathfinder, but you took
Okay.
like a feat that was like a new skill tree,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So that at every level you could actually take a small thing.
Yeah. Pathfinder second edition is straight up
Yeah.
basically every level you get a feat. The only
Yeah.
thing that
Yeah.
changes level to level is what list that feat comes from. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you made every 2 levels or every 3 levels is your subclass level, and you get to pick, like you said, like a skill tree, like a feat or whatever from that subclass list, that'd be way better. It'd be way better. Because I think, like, honestly, the difference, if I told you someone was playing a warlock and you have to guess the subclass by listening to 20 minutes of them playing.
Well, they're only going to be doing Eldritch Blast, so
I mean, you're right. I mean, you're right. But that's the thing, right? Is I think you wouldn't really be able to unless you get a really lucky clip where they use a unique
yeah,
feature. The vast majority of it, I don't think you'd be able to tell, and you should
yeah.
be
I think
able
you're
to
right.
tell.
I think with the new with 5.5's Warlock, I think you're gonna get that.
I should hope so through, but that's because it's engaging in really good role play, which I don't think entirely counts, but we'll see. I mean, you will know when they Misty Step 3 times in a row.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And that's a
No.
good thing. That's a
And
good thing. That is a
yeah,
good thing.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think that's one of the issues with a lot of the subclasses in fifth edition. And I'm hoping it's better in 5.5. It's not going to be fixed to the degree that I would enjoy, but I think it's going to be better in 5.5. That's one of the other reasons that I'm specifically calling this out as 5.5, not sixth edition. Some people are trying to call
Uh-huh.
it sixth edition, and I think that they are objectively wrong because nowhere near enough of the game has changed to justify going up a full edition. It's
I think
just
that's true.
fixed.
I think that's fair.
It's just 5 but fixed.
It's refived.
Did you just say that it's just re-5'd?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like Magic the Gathering revised. It's refived. Yeah, I'm that old. I played Magic revised. I played The Dark.
Yo, bitch, you want to roll up with some cold snap? Fuck yeah.
Is Counterspell even anything? I don't fucking know. I don't care. No offense.
No, you're good. I play Commander, so because Standard is for idiots and fools. Also, Magic makes me sad. One of these days we might do
I
an
don't know
episode on
anybody who
Magic the
plays
Gathering
Standard
because it makes me
anymore.
really sad.
It makes me sad too, honestly. Truly.
Okay, in that case,
It really does.
Jaime and I will do an episode on Magic the Gathering one of these days because
Okay.
I'm mad. Yeah. Just to keep the tease going, eventually we will do the Wizard episode in which I will rip apart the Wizard for about 45 minutes, and then I will unveil my fixed Wizard that I will be calling the Sage for the last 15 minutes. And then I will make said Sage available for everyone for free. I think I'll do free. I don't think we should lock that away from people.
You should call it the Fizzard.
The Fizzard, because it's a fixed wizard,
Yeah.
or where are you
Fixed
going?
Wizard. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I was debating wizard but better or wizard plus one.
Oh, I love that lit RPG.
But yeah, I will. That's there's your tease for the day. Is get ready for the wizard episode because it's coming and you are not ready. Dude, the wizard fucking sucks. Bye.
Emoji, emoji, emoji.
Emoji, 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 emoji.